Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. We have almost made it. I'm excited to have you here with me today. I'm going to be starting to talk about some things that I'm super passionate about and focusing a lot on a balanced aspect to reaching fat loss. And so I just figured there's no better time to start than the present, so I'm just going to start today. Why not? But I wanted to talk to you guys because it can get so confusing. Like you get all of these different viewpoints. I mean, if you ask 10, people in a row, what's the best way to lose weight? You're probably going to get 10 different opinions. And there's nothing wrong with that. And everyone has an opinion. A lot of them are exactly right. And so this is just going to be my opinion and what I have found works best for me personally in the past, the way that I personally do things now, and the way I like to teach people. So I'm just going to share that with you, but I am going to get a drink of water. Sorry. If you're new to the page though, I'm excited to have you here. It's a perfect time to jump in and join. Sorry. My name is Natalie Tuman here with Mythinkfit. I am an online health and fitness coach. I love getting to help other people reach their health and fitness goals, and I really enjoy helping people to target for fat loss. That's something I'm super passionate about, so I really enjoy learning and teaching about this. So as you start, figuring out weight loss, first of all, there's so many different ways to target like actual weight loss, right? There's low calorie diets, low fat diets, just eat lots of healthy food diets. Like there's all different ways that you can lose weight. But when you talk about losing fat, it's a completely different animal. You still will be eating healthy, but the way that you go about it is differently because there's a more hormonal approach to it. We're made of a whole bunch of chemicals in and of ourselves and different hormones. I'm going to get into that on another video. I'm just going to touch on it today, and then I'll continue to build upon this for you guys as we go. So, losing fat has to deal with a hormonally balanced diet. It's more that than, low calorie, low fat, or no fat or high fat or whatever. And we all also have this carb. It's more of a carb and starch control, because whether you realize it or not, like starches actually equate to sugar, and carbs are different than starches. So that's an important thing to start to realize and to start training your way of thinking. When I learned to change my way of thinking on just that one aspect, it changed so much for me in regards to actual fat loss. And then there's also a right type and a right amount of fats for each of us. And so that's kind of important for you to know. And I need you to understand that every single person is different. There is not a one size fits all for everyone. There are things that are going to help expedite things, kind of get a jump start and a great kickstart. But as you start getting further in, it's going to be more of kind of being your own detective of your body, if that makes sense. So it's about finding the balance, right? Finding a balance so that it can become a lifestyle, so that you're not a slave to weighing food or, peeing on things. Or, I know that sounds terrible, but you can do that to see if you're in ketosis, right? So you don't want to have to be doing that all the time. Keeping track of points, things like that. Like there is a simpler, more balanced and effective way to do things for the long term. I'm not saying that some of those things are not amazing to help you kickstart, but for a long-term lifestyle and to keep it simple, because if it's not simple, you're not going to stick with it. And that's what I've learned through all of my yo-yoing and trying different pills and stuff back in the day. Like, I wasn't going to stick with it. So finding a balance, for fat loss, you actually have to, the way that you eat is a little bit different. It's more about high volume foods that have more fiber and more water content. You might even find yourself eating more often than what you typically would. You don't get to the point where you're just starving and then you go, because that causes blood sugar crash, which really ends up spiking your insulin. So you don't want to do that. You want to think about, when you're, instead of weighing things, you want to learn to limit them to like bite sizes. That's typically what I try to do at this point, is you limit them to bites of certain food. And it's based on your personal metabolism, because again, it's not a one size fits all. And then on top of that, you always want to make sure that you're incorporating either some sort of social meal, right? I don't want to call it a cheat or a reward. I don't really know what the right term is. You've got to kind of figure out what that term is for you. You see those things floating around on Facebook, like you're not a dog, don't reward yourself with food. Well, I kind of like to, I'm not going to lie. I may not be a dog, but I like to reward myself. If I've busted my butt, I'm gonna reward myself with one meal. Not a week-long binge, but I'm gonna be like, I don't have a problem eating a piece of cake because I've been really great in other aspects. So it's about figuring out what that is for you though. And so we're gonna learn that together, I promise. But one thing that I wanna leave you with today, and that I think is super important to start getting in the mindset of, is that if it's just about calories in and calories out, it's not necessarily the best way. And I wanna give you an example. This is what I'm gonna leave you with because this is crazy. Did you know that a donut and that chicken has the same amount of calories? Did anybody that's watching know that? It's about 250-ish calories is what a donut, and then chicken with the skin on, I'll give you that, but with the skin on is about 250 calories, the same amount, okay? But I want you to realize how the chicken has a higher volume, so it's actually more dense calories instead of these empty calories, okay? So with your chicken breast, you have 1 gram of fat, that's it, 1 gram of fat. You have 2 grams of carbs and 37 grams of protein, okay? That's in chicken. Now, when you take a donut that has the same exact 250 calories, you have 20 grams of fat, 18 grams of carbs, and only 2 grams of protein. So you can see that the chicken would probably fill you up way more than the donut. That's why you can go and you can eat like a dozen donuts. Probably not. You probably can't eat a dozen donuts. That would hurt really badly. But like a few donuts, you can't really eat a ton of chicken, right? So you've got to, if you can start thinking in that, like it's not just about the calories, right? So stop just counting calories, because if you're looking for fat loss, that's what I need to preface this with, because that's what I like to focus on, is about fat loss. And sometimes that means the scale may not be your best friend, because the scale may not move, but if you are seeing your body shift and your body change, clothes are fitting differently, your hunger, your energy, and your cravings are in check, and you might even see a little bit of definition in areas, to me, that's a win. So I just wanted to leave you with that. Like I said, I'm going to be starting this series like once a week. I'm going to come in here and be talking to you guys about a more balanced approach to weight loss, specifically with fat loss, because that's what I am the most passionate about. So I have a free ongoing community, and I really am going to be sharing a lot in there too. I will leave that link in the comment section below here so that you can just click on there and you can join our free community here on Facebook and just get even more value than what I'm able to offer